Alright fellas, here we are back in another Pokemon Legends ZA video, where we're going to be talking about what potential mythical Pokemon could we see get unshiny locked. I just opened a door in my room and it is echoing like crazy. What is happening? Okay, anyway, sorry, that was completely unrelated and no one cares. But Legends ZA, of course, we're going to be getting this game, and I'm asking this question: what could get unshiny locked because of this little thing we've got here for Pokemon Home that has been happening over the past like 6 months, basically. So if we go back to the beginning of this, well, I guess, far back, but we go back to this point, we can see back in October, they released Shiny Meloetta. Once you completed the Scarlet and Violet, Kitakami, and Indigo Disc, well, Blueberry, whatever, Pokedexes. Once you completed that Pokedex from those games, you were able to get Shiny Meloetta in home, transfer it to whatever game it could be transferred to. Awesome, right? Then on January 28th, they released Shiny Manaphy and Shiny. Okay. And Shiny Enamorus as gifts for completing the Sinnoh from Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, as well as the Pokemon Legends Arceus Pokedex, the Hisui Pokedex, right? And then on February 12th, 2 weeks later, basically, they released for the 3-year anniversary, I believe, of Pokemon Home, 5th anniversary. Oh my god, it's 5 years old. Okay. 5th anniversary of Pokemon Home, they released Shiny Meltan for completing the Let's Go Dex and Shiny Keldeo for completing the Galar, Isle of Armor, and Crown Tundra Pokedexes. I made a video on this. It was good, stuff like that, right? Obviously cool, right? I'm asking now, because we have every single, I believe, to my immediate knowledge and remembrance, because I have every single Pokemon game that's main series anyway on my Switch. We have every Pokemon, every game has its like correlated mythical Pokemon that it unshiny locks. I guess Namorus is a legendary, but whatever, right? It was a shiny locked Pokemon. What will ZA have? Because I'm sure they're going to do the same thing for ZA. They might not do it on release. They might do it like half a year later, or they might do it a year later, or something like that. As like a 1 year anniversary of Legends ZA. But what mythical would they unshiny lock? These are the big three. Okay, so if we take a look at these three, these are the three Kalos mythical Pokemon. One of them has a Mega Evolution, and I think that's a pretty big example. Diancie is technically not shiny locked, as it had a South Korean and a Japanese shiny event. Let me go find those real quick. Okay, yeah, I found it. So back in South Korea, back in August of 2016, they had an event where you could get a shiny Diancie with its normal gem, also in Japan, I guess was the location. That's interesting. Either way, whatever. You could also get access to these Diancite Megastone, and they again released another version of this in Japan, like in December of 2015. So like about 8 months prior, right? So we do actually have access to some of these like shiny mythicals if obviously you played those events. But of course, these were back in 2016, 2015. Tons of other shiny legendaries. This is so sick, by the way. So sad we can never get these and a lot of these over in the West. But anyway, it doesn't really matter. It's okay. But anyway, yeah. So shiny Diancie, technically not shiny locked, but obviously you can't even get Diancie in any games out because those events don't exist anymore. And is Diancie even obtainable or like transferable into modern games? Doesn't say, but this is also like not the best information to go off of. Either way, I mean, you can't get Diancie by any traditional means. There's no way to hunt it like Deoxys or Darkrai or Arceus, anything like that. You just can't get it. Same thing with Hoopa and Volcanion. These Pokemon are event locked only, and Hoopa and Volcanion have also never been able to be obtained shiny, just because they've never had that ability to. They've never released any events like Diancie where they released shiny. So Diancie's the only one that has been attained shiny, but I think Diancie honestly still falls under the same scope because it's obviously a limited event that was never obtained, not anything you can repeat or even like, Pomeg glitch or like arbitrary code execute into the game, right? I don't think X and Y has arbitrary code execution yet, at least. So yeah. But either way, those three are the big mythicals that people are theorizing, like, are these going to be the ones obviously that are going to be getting the unshiny lock? I mean, that's probably obviously what's going to happen, but I think there's one other contender people are probably forgetting, and it'd be Magearna is currently a Pokemon home reward to get in its, like, what is the form called? Right here, see, complete the dex, you get the special original color Magearna. I guess that's what it's called. Either way, you get the original color Magearna once you complete the entire Pokemon Home Pokedex from Bulbasaur to Eternatus, which I need to do, honestly, because I'm super close to getting it done anyway, but I'm a little bit lazy. Doesn't matter, it's fine. But yeah, once you complete the dex, you'll be able to get this, but this is not a shiny Magearna. This is just a regular Magearna. Well, it's a special form, but it's a regular Magearna, all things considered, right? It's not much different from like Hoopa Unbound or something like that, right? It's just special colors. Shiny Magearna doesn't really have much of a difference either. I'm pretty sure that the original color Magearna does have a shiny form. If we go to Magearna, yeah, okay, so yeah, here's shiny Magearna. It's silver. Like shiny Magearna actually does look quite different. And then I think original color also has a shiny, if I'm not mistaken. Let me find it real quick. Okay, yeah, looking here, you can see the shiny, shiny version of the original colors Magearna is like a gold and black type of color. Don't know how this is ever going to be distributed. It probably won't be the one that would be distributed for ZA, but I could definitely see like shiny regular Magearna being distributed. But again, in that same fashion, since we already do have Magearna as an available home gift, I could see them obviously just going the classic route and kind of what we expect to be either Volcanion, Hoopa, or Diancie here. You know, one of these three does make the most sense. As for which one, honestly, I think it would depend on if Volcanion and Hoopa get Mega Evolutions, but I could definitely see Diancie just getting the permanent shiny. Like, I mean, if we want to look at, for example, Pokemon Home here, and we want to look at the Manaphy, like there wasn't too many better options to give a shiny as like a shiny option for completing the Sinnoh Dex, but you could have done Darkrai and Shaman because Darkrai and Shaman are just locked behind their own events in BDSP, and they can't be shiny hunted in Legends Arceus. So honestly, I think it would have made plenty of sense for them to be either of the options over Manaphy, but I feel maybe at the same time they chose Manaphy because of the fact that people could still have those shiny mythicals from those event tickets that were released back like around the year that BDSP actually released, right? So Shiny Manaphy was really one of their only options, but I still do feel that Diancie makes a lot of sense because it's got a Mega Evolution, and Megas are obviously the big focus of this game. And well, despite the fact it had an event before, so did Manaphy, but again, Manaphy was picked as the option for BDSP here. Meloetta was never huntable shiny, and Keldeo was never huntable shiny. Meltan, it was for Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. I honestly can see why they went for Meltan. Meltan was obviously one of like exclusive Pokemon for that game, but also at the same time, you can't evolve this Meltan. You can't transfer to go to evolve it and then transfer it back. I don't think. And granted, I guess the only other option for Mythicals was Mew, which I guess they did not want to give away a shiny Mew that easily, which sucks. But I mean, whatever, it is what it is, I guess. So, but yeah, for those options, like, I mean, you know, a lot of them made sense, and a lot of the times, honestly, it's really just a coin. It's gonna be a three-way coin flip, I would say, for these. Maybe four-way if you really want to think Magearna has a fair shot as the other three, as on getting a shiny unlock from Pokemon Home from Legends ZA. And what I mean by this is, of course, you'll do the same thing again, like in all these other games. You'll complete the Legends ZA Dex, transfer those Pokemon into home. You'll register the game's Dex is completed, and you'll be able to get those Pokemon. You'll be able to get the special shiny Pokemon of one of these three, or Magearna, so I guess one of the four, as a shiny. So probably. I'm sure they'll do it. I don't see why they would just release it for the other games and then their new games don't get it. Like, of course, again, on release, I don't expect it to happen. Like, we're gonna probably expect Legends ZA like an August, September release. If you go off the TCG and expect the game to release around the same time as the TCG, then I would fully expect Legends ZA to release in like August. So I could see them not releasing it then, but I could see it maybe being a winter release or a Pokemon Day release of 2026. They could do that. You know, that's about half a year later, give or take. That would make sense. Or, you know, they could potentially do it a year later on the anniversary of Legends ZA's release date. Again, I'm expecting around August for when this game's actually going to come out, relative to considering how the TCG has its mega set coming in August/September. So that just makes the most sense to me. Just speaking out loud. So yeah, I would expect that to happen then, and again, it's just one of these four. I think all of them are cool. I mean, I like Diancie Shiny a good bit, even though it's just like a deeper pink. It's like a more hot pink. Volcanion, a lot of people don't like just because the colors are so weird, but I like the shiny. The shiny yellow, I mean, it's so different. It's so just contrasting. I really do like it. And Hoopa, same thing. Hoopa makes sense. People don't like it just because it takes away a lot of Hoopa's like different like colors here, like the pink and the purple. Like it works very well for Hoopa as a Pokemon, both in its unbound form and its regular form. And the blue, of course, you know, it looks very good. Where obviously shiny Hoopa is like just a gold. It's just there's a yellow, a gold. It takes out a lot of color like variety with the Pokemon, but I don't know. I still really like it a lot because it makes sense. Hoopa's like a greedy Pokemon. It's a Jin. You know, it's embodied by greed. So being a pure golden color makes sense for it, and I just like it. And I think it looks pretty cool just in general. So I do hope at least one of those Pokemon get their shiny lock removed. So that would be great to have there. So yeah. Let me know what you think will get their shiny locked removed, whether it is Volcanion, Diancie, Hoopa, or Magearna, or if it's just someone else entirely. I mean, we might get a new Pokemon that is new Pokemon for Legends ZA, like we got in Amorous and Legends Arceus, and they could just remove it shiny locked with the same method in Pokemon Home, a year later, half a year later, however they end up doing it. So I think they could go that route too. Whoever ends up getting it, whatever it is, it'll be cool either way. I just hope it's one of these mythicals, because even if we can obtain the mythicals in the game, which we kind of expect to, given how, Legends Arceus worked, how we were able to get all of the mythicals. I believe we had to have other games, but still, no, not really a big deal to me. You were still able to get the Pokemon in that game, and I really hope that that is going to be the same case here for Legends ZA, where you can get these mythicals, you can finally put them in a repeatedly obtainable method, and just be better for everyone. And then one of them can be on shiny locked, or maybe all of them if we want to cope a little bit in Pokemon Home. Half a year to a year later. Anyway, that's my thoughts. I just wanted to kind of talk about it, see who we would potentially get. I think it's a little bit early, obviously, to kind of like tell, but I just think it's a great idea and a great thing to discuss. So, again, put it down in the comments who you think is going to get it. And yeah, peace.